Hey guys, welcome back to DW's Chop Shop. Today we're going to go over gapping our piston rings, right? I'm only going to do one ring, but we're going to follow the tech manual, walk through the procedure, and you can repeat it for all of your rings. I already have my rings on my pistons. Like I said in, I think the first, maybe second video, I tore this engine apart. So I know the bottom end is good, except we had this one cylinder kind of crudded up, and she's good now. So we'll gap our rings. And once this ring is gapped, this video is over. Next video is going to be putting these jugs on. Okay, so what we need to do is we want to look in here. I need to find table 2 or table 4. Remove the old rings, check the end gap of each ring. To check the ring, insert the ring into the bottom of the cylinder bore and square it with the cylinder wall by tapping it with the piston. The ring should be pushed in about a ½ inch. Insert a feeler gauge as shown, and I'll go over that. We need table 2 or 4. So I'm guessing it's going to be year specific. Table 4. See, piston fit, piston ring gap, end gap, 78 to 83, 83 on. We need table 2. Table 2. Let's see, piston rings, end gap, 0.10 to 0.020. Okay, so I don't have a spare, well, I guess I do have spare pistons. I didn't go out to the shed to grab a spare piston. Instead, what I did grab was this 2x4, which is pretty level. It'll work for this demonstration. Wait a minute. This 2x4, which I've cut down to kind of fit in here, and we can put a ring on there. So you make sure your cylinders have a little coating of oil on them. And then the secret to this is to keep your piston ring even. So if you don't have a 2x4, get a little, measure 1 inch down all the way around, or slide your piston in, from the bottom, and then slide this down on top, and then pull your piston out, take your readings. So I have this in. I want it down, just so this thing runs underneath of all of it. And we're even. Alright. Okay. This isn't quite big enough, but it worked. It did what I needed it to. Next thing is we take a set of feeler gauges. We're shooting for 0.5015. So that should be a gauge in here. 1.3, 1.4. You can tell I use this one a lot. 0.015. Okay. I'll move that out of the way. You guys can see my ring in there. Okay, so this 0.15 fits and I can wiggle it left, right. Okay. So 0.20 is our max. So the next thing I'm going to do is pull out 0.20 and see if this one fits. Shouldn't. Doesn't fit. Okay. So we are somewhere between 20 thou and 15 thou. So let's try an 18. Yeah, there's a 19. Okay. '19's tight. Oh no, 19 fits. Alright, so this is kind of on the ragged edge. This one I don't need to do anything to. It fits, right? 20 thousandths is our max, 19 thousandths is a tight squeeze. Guess what? That's good to go. Now let's say it wasn't good to go. Let's say we couldn't fit a 10,000ths in there, right? What you do at that point is you take your ring out. Find a way to set this camera up. And you'll come over somewhere and you need to be able to file just a little bit. So you see how I have this hanging off here? That's better. So I have a little bit of the ring hanging off, and then I have this under my control, right? So I can even this out, and I can push this down, and I can run a file along this side 3 times, or 5 or 10 or whatever, and then I'll flip it over, do the same thing, run the file, 2, 3, whatever, same thing, and then after this, it goes on the bike, you know, or you remeasure, and remeasure, and keep on doing that, and eventually these will go on the bike. So that's how we gap our piston rings, right? Now there is another set of readings on the piston rings, and I'm going to get set up to take those, so give me just a second. Okay, I think I got it set up here so we can do the last bit of working on this piston. Let me zoom out real quick. All right. So to put your pistons on, they make spreader tools for these, or the way I do it on these smaller engines, just kind of stick your thumbs in there, spread them apart, slide it down over, pop it into place, and keep going, right? And you have 3 different rings. You have 2 compression rings and an oil ring. So this is a compression ring, this is a compression ring, this is your oil ring, and your oil ring is made up of 3 different parts, 2 thin rings and then this like spring, and that keeps the oil on the bottom skirt of your piston, keeps it from coming up top, right? Okay, so we got our rings in, but before you put your ring in, you want to take it and just roll it all the way around the outside edge here, right? All the way around, make sure it's not caught anywhere it's hard. This is a real close surface. If it is caught, get in there with a little tiny file, you know, rub it out. Now, okay, we got that done. We know these fit, you know, oil rings fit, that fits. We need to take one more reading. So we need to measure the piston ring side clearance, right? And that is essentially, you know, we measured the in and out. Now we need to measure our upsy downsy, right? On our, you can see we got a little up and down, a little up and down. Okay, so the clearance for this is going to be in table 2 again. So back to table 2, piston ring, ring gap, in gap, side clearance. For the compression ring, our side clearance is 004 to 005. Okay, for the oil ring, it is 003 to 005. Now, I'm a little ahead of you. So let me pull out 003. And our oil ring. Ooh, yep, see how that kind of slides in? There's a little bit of resistance. I can't pull it straight out. That's 3/1000ths. That's perfect. Okay, that's on the tight side. Now our rings is kind of interesting. See how this, if I push this all the way in, 3/1000ths don't go in anywhere on either one of these. Right? 2/1000ths though. 2/1000ths goes in. See that? You can hear the resistance, but there's resistance. Okay, so we are a little tight on the compression side, about 1/1000th of an inch tight. I'm going to run with it. I ran with it before, I'm gonna keep running with that. Oil ring is dead on. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but my ring gaps right here, they are lined up pretty close, right? That's bad, because this is just one shot for compression to get out, oil to get out, and everything else. So you want your oil rings offset 90 degrees, right? So I have one here, and then the other one is, oh, that's 180 degrees out, but that's fine because it's not going to let oil up through the same spot. So now I have a gap here, I have a gap straight on the other side. So I'm going to take these two and rotate them so that they are 180 out. And that's how I'll slide my cylinder over that. Now, let's move back to our, this one's shy. Back to our rear piston. And we'll do the same thing. Let me find 3/1000ths. Okay. 3/1000ths. Now, how's this one fit? Tight. Tight. 3/1000ths. Okay, so let me break out 2,000 just to double check, make sure if we're going to be wrong, I want to be wrong the same, right? Okay. Okay. So there is some play in there. I'll take it. Take that all day. Now, we're going to do the same thing. See where are my oil ring gaps. I got one here. They're 180 of each other, here and here. This one is facing me. This one, where's this one at? There it is. So we will put it 180 out. And it looks like this video is at about 15 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off, get the editing done, get it ready to drop. Next thing we're going to do is drop our cylinders on this bad boy and get the heads put on. We're moving right along, boys.